Welcome, everybody. Sportsbook Review. It's Wednesday, January 1st, but we are doing our regular Wednesday series, college basketball, a day early for Thursday. So we're going to give you the advantage and the early edge with Joe Gavazzi. This has really turned out to be a really interesting series. Our viewers enjoy it, and you know what? I do as well. So with that being said, we got a new number one in the nation. It's Gonzaga. They're going to take on BYU. The spread, minus 10.5, double digits on the road. Now, let's keep in mind, these two teams last year had two games that were a battle, literally decided by, I think, 5 or fewer points. But things change, rosters change, and you know what? When a team gets ranked number one, it's wondering what they will do with that, because a lot of teams, they lose focus and they just get buried, or a lot of them, they catapult and they take that momentum and they continue to climb. So with that being said, Joe, Zags minus 10.5 at BYU, and I am not impressed at all with this BYU team, even though at home, ATS 6-1. What's your thoughts, and can Gonzaga cover this large number?
Well, why not? Gonzaga's 13-2 against the spread recently. They have imported not only European imports, but as well Pac-12 imports, and have the most talented roster ever for Mark Few. And they are now number one in the country, 22 straight wins, and cruising through the West Coast Conference, including easily dispatching of number 2 team St. Mary's earlier in January. But Mike, we're going to call this one ripe for the plucking, as we do so many times when a team ascends to number one, and that is exactly what we're doing with the Gonzaga team this year. You alluded to the fact that these teams played 3 games last year, decided by 5 or less points, and in fact, when they suited up on this court, BYU was a 2-point favorite. Now, although BYU may be just a tad down this year, and Gonzaga, of course, number one, I'm not sure there's 12-point difference between the two teams last year. BYU was even a team good enough to win in the kennel last year against the Zags. So we have a team in BYU who has proven and has the confidence to play with Gonzaga. Now, there's one rejoinder here. We know that BYU is a great home favorite and road favorite, covering over 60% of the time under current head coach Rose. What we may not have known is that they're just 29-46 against the spread as an underdog, including just 7-17 against the spread as a home dog, a major reason for concern here. Nonetheless, on a court where BYU is 55-7 straight up, on a court where Gonzaga must play at mile-high altitude, we're going to come in and give you BYU plus the generous 10.5 points, a value number, and look for the Cougars to take this one to the wire against the Zags, much as they did in all 3 games last year. BYU plus the 10.5 as the Cougars get the cover. Go BYU.
I knew it was coming. I knew it as soon as I looked at the schedule, and I love it. Thank you, Joe. That was beautiful. And I'll tell you what a breakdown. And I had thought about it. Like, here's a team, all right, number one out of nowhere, all of a sudden, boom. Not out of nowhere. They've worked very hard for it. Let's get real. They're 22-0, 5-1, all right, on the road ATS as of late. But numbers don't lie, and BYU, I think, is going to get up for this game. This is now their Super Bowl, all right? They are facing the number one team in the nation. They know, and I was wrong. I said 2 times. It was 3 times last year. They played each other to the wire, head-to-head, and it was a damn battle, all right? I don't think BYU has taken that much of a step backwards, and especially when you're 6-1 ATS at home. And like you said, Joe, 54, I believe, and 7. That speaks large volume. So I think they're in for a battle, and had this team not been placed number one, maybe BYU wouldn't be as motivated, probably, but maybe not. So I think that only throws some, smoke to the fire, and it just really heat things up. Viewers, you heard it. Zags minus 10.5 are not going to get it covered, according to Joe. He likes BYU, the Cougars, getting it done, keeping it close like they did last year. And I like that play. I really think this could be a ticket casher. Hey, Joe, do us a favor. Give our viewers a very well-deserved plug for your website and let them know what you have there.
It is winningsportsadvice.com. And of course, there's not only sporting news that you can use in the form of articles and a great money management article, but also a number of free picks on there from time to time. You want to go there and check it out each and every day, winningsportsadvice.com. And good luck to you guys out there if you choose to use the strong team on a strong court as a double-digit dog against the number one Zags.
Thank you so much, Joe. Great breakdown, great insight. Can't wait till we do this again next week. Have a great day.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.